The historical context of Proverbs 31 takes place during the reign of King Solomon in the 10th century BC. This chapter is part of the collection of Proverbs attributed to Solomon, though some sections were compiled later by other Israelite sages. Solomon, renowned for his wisdom, compiled these teachings to guide the people of Israel in leading just lives according to God's principles. The Book of Proverbs is a collection of practical wisdom, focusing on moral, ethical, and spiritual guidance. Written in an era where wisdom was highly valued in Israel, it sought to provide instructions on living a righteous life. Under Solomon's reign, Israel enjoyed prosperity and peace, and the king's wisdom provided the foundation for a society that sought to honor God in everyday life. Proverbs 31 stands out not only for its acrostic structure, but also as a poem that praises the virtuous woman. It is attributed to King Lemuel, a foreign king whose teachings were passed down from his mother. These words contain wisdom on leadership, justice, and the ideal woman, one who is strong, dignified, and God-fearing. In Israelite society, women were often seen in a submissive role, primarily responsible for managing the home and family. However, the virtuous woman portrayed in Proverbs 31 defies this limited role. She is depicted not only as a caretaker of her home, but also as an active participant in commerce, generosity, and wisdom, making her a true leader in both her family and community. This ideal reflects a shift in cultural understanding, highlighting that a woman's virtue is not solely defined by her domestic responsibilities, but also by her actions, intelligence, labor, and reverence for God. Proverbs 31 reveals the application of wisdom in practical life, a key aspect of a society that was agrarian and patriarchal. The woman described here is diligent in managing her home while also adept at business and charitable work. This depiction showed Israelite society that the value of a woman extends beyond the home, influencing society at large. This historical and cultural context is crucial for understanding how Proverbs 31 provides a timeless model of virtue, illustrating that divine wisdom is not limited to men but is equally essential and accessible to women. The virtuous woman of Proverbs 31 is one of the Bible's most iconic figures, a model of strength, wisdom, and devotion to God. But what does it truly mean to be a virtuous woman today? How can we apply these principles in our daily lives? This article delves into the theological interpretation of Proverbs 31, revealing profound insights into the qualities of this extraordinary woman. We will explore how each of these attributes can transform your spiritual, emotional, and family life. Prepare for an enriching analysis that not only clarifies the meaning of this biblical text, but also inspires you to live fully and in harmony with divine principles. Discover how this ancient message continues to be a powerful guide for both women and men who seek to honor God in their lives. The virtuous woman in Proverbs 31 is a model of wisdom, strength, and grace. Her example transcends time and inspires women of all generations to live according to God's standards. In this article, we will explore the 5 qualities that define the virtuous woman, highlighting the profound impact each one has on her life and the life of her family. Dignity and trust, the pillar of the home. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. Prov. 31:11. The virtuous woman is, above all, an example of dignity. She builds unshakable trust in her relationships, whether in marriage or within the community. Her integrity is evident in everything she does, creating a safe environment for her family. This trust is rooted in her character, grounded in Christian principles. She is the rock that supports the home, and her presence brings peace and stability. The woman who trusts in God inspires trust in those around her. Diligent work, a woman who isn't afraid to serve. She seeks wool and flax, and works with willing hands. Prov. 31:13. The work of the virtuous woman is an expression of her devotion to the Lord and her family. She understands that her work is a way of serving God and others, whether at home or in the marketplace. By seeking quality and excellence in everything she does, she reflects the creative and tireless character of the Creator. Her work is not just about production, it's a manifestation of her faith in action. Her diligence is a form of worship. Generosity, a heart that opens its hands to others. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy.
Prov.
31:20. Generosity is a direct reflection of the heart of the virtuous woman. She understands that her blessings are not for accumulation, but for sharing. Her hand is extended to the needy, displaying Christ's compassion and love in every gesture. Her generosity goes beyond a simple act of giving. It is driven by a compassionate heart that seeks to meet others' needs, making it a true expression of mercy. The woman who practices generosity reflects the heart of God, who deeply cares for the poor and needy. Wisdom and teaching, the voice that guides in the Lord's path. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the law of kindness is on her tongue.
Prov.
31:26. The virtuous woman is a source of wisdom. She does not speak recklessly. Her words are guided by divine wisdom. Her counsel is rooted in Scripture, and she seeks to teach the principles of God's kingdom in every situation. Her words have the power to build, correct, and encourage. As an educator, she leads her family down the path of truth and grace. The wisdom she exudes reflects Christ Himself, the wisdom of God incarnate. Fear of the Lord, the foundation of all her virtues. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised.
Prov.
31:30. The most exalted quality in the virtuous woman is her fear of the Lord. This is not fear in the traditional sense, but a profound respect and reverence for God. This fear is the solid foundation upon which all her other virtues are built. By fearing the Lord, she acknowledges His sovereignty and seeks to live in alignment with His will. This relationship with God is what truly makes her valuable and worthy of praise. The fear of the Lord not only enables her to live wisely, but makes her a living example of God's grace and power. The virtuous woman of Proverbs 30:1 is not an unattainable ideal, but a practical example of how to live a life that honors God. She is a woman of character, action, and faith who finds her purpose not only in her daily tasks, but in her devotion to Christ. The invitation to follow her example is a call to reflect God's love and wisdom in everything we do. If you desire to live with the purpose of the virtuous woman, begin by cultivating a deep relationship with God, allowing His fear and wisdom to transform every area of your life. How to apply the virtuous woman's example in your life today. Cultivate an intimate relationship with God. The foundation of the virtuous woman is her deep connection with God. She prioritizes constant prayer and meditation on the Word, seeking divine wisdom in every area of her life. For you, the first step is establishing a routine of prayer and Bible study. It is through this daily relationship with the Lord that you will find the strength and clarity to live with purpose. Seek excellence in every area of life. The virtuous woman excels not only in managing her home, but also in all aspects of life, whether at home, at work, or in the community. She is diligent, organized, and always seeks to do her best in everything. This doesn't mean perfection, but a commitment to excellence that honors God. Ask yourself, how can I reflect God's glory in my work, relationships, and daily responsibilities? Be an example of kindness and integrity. She is known for her immeasurable kindness and unshakable integrity. Her behavior is a light that shines, inspiring those around her. To apply this in your life, consider how you can be more compassionate, just, and honest in your relationships. Let your actions speak louder than your words, showing Christ's love in practical and tangible ways. Invest in wisdom and teach others. The wisdom of the virtuous woman is her greatest treasure. She not only seeks understanding but also shares this knowledge with her family, guiding them with wise and loving words. The challenge for you is to constantly seek God's discernment, not only for your life, but to share and teach principles that build and transform. Invest in your spiritual and practical education, and be a source of wisdom to those around you. These steps are not just about becoming a virtuous woman, but about becoming a reflection of Christ's character in a world that desperately needs examples of wisdom, integrity, and love. Proverbs 31 is not an idealized, unreachable standard. It is a divine invitation for each of us to grow in virtue and fear of the Lord. The virtuous woman presented in this chapter is a living manifestation of God's grace, a model that reflects heavenly wisdom in all her actions. Her example of diligence, wisdom, and faith is not an impossible demand but a path accessible to all who desire to live with purpose and align with God's heart. This text challenges us to incorporate these virtues into our daily lives, demonstrating that the true beauty and worth of a woman come from their deep relationship with God and how they give themselves in service to others. No matter where you are in your spiritual journey, the qualities of the virtuous woman can be cultivated with the help of the Holy Spirit. I want to pray for you. If you're seeking spiritual growth or need divine intervention in any area of your life, leave your request in the comments. Together, we will cry out to the Lord in faith, for He is attentive to our prayers and desires to guide us every step of the way.